here is the Writer's Almanac for Wednesday, February the 9th, 2022.
It's the birthday of Alice Walker, born in Eatonton, Georgia, 1944, the youngest of 8 children, daughter of poor sharecroppers, who graduated first in her high school class, won a scholarship to Spelman College in Atlanta, transferred to Sarah Lawrence, and met Langston Hughes, who became an early champion of her writing. Began to publish poetry in the late 1960s, and it was with her third novel, The Color Purple, in 1982, that she reached a much larger audience. It won the Pulitzer Prize and the National Book Award in that year. It's the birthday of the poet Amy Lowell, born Brookline, Massachusetts, 1874, to a prominent Boston family. Her first poem was published when she was 36 years old. She was an imagist poet who once said, "God made me a businesswoman, and I made myself a poet." And it's the birthday of the South African author J.M. Coetzee, Cape Town, 1940, author of many novels, Dusklands, Life and Times of Michael Kay, Disgrace, won the Nobel Prize for Literature in 2003. A very intense man, someone who worked with him for more than a decade, said that he only saw Coetzee laugh one time. It was on this date in 1943 the Battle of Guadalcanal ended, which was the Allied forces' first major offensive against the Japanese in World War II. Guadalcanal in the Solomon Islands, about 90 miles long, 25 miles wide. The Japanese had taken it in June 1942, intending to build an airfield and from there launch long-range bombers. The Allied invaded on August the 7th, 1942, and took over the airfield. The Japanese launched a counterattack in November. It was a ferocious battle, heavy casualties on both sides, the American troops eager but inexperienced, especially at night operations, so the Japanese planned attacks for the midnight hours. For every soldier who fell in battle, others fell to malaria or dysentery. After 6 months of major land battles, naval battles, air battles, the Japanese began to evacuate, and on February 9th, 1943, the United States declared victory. The Japanese lost 25,000 troops and 6,300 U.S. Marines were killed. Here's a poem by Pat Schneider entitled Middle Age. The child you think you don't want is the one who will make you laugh. She will break your heart when she loses the sight in one eye and tells the doctor she wants to be an apple tree when she grows up. It will be this child who forgives you again and again for believing you don't want her to be born, for resisting the rising tide of your body, for wishing for the red flow of her dismissal. She will even forgive you for all the breakfasts you failed to make exceptional. Someday this child will sit beside you when you are old and too tired of war to want to watch the evening news. She will tell you stories like the one about her teenaged brother, your son, and his friends taking her out in a canoe when she was 5 years old, how they left her alone on an island in the river while they jumped off the railroad bridge. Middle Age, a poem by Pat Schneider, from Another River, New and Selected Poems, published by Amherst Writers and Artists Press, and used by permission here on the Writer's Almanac. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.